Twitch streamer Hasan. Hasan is one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, and he's been that for a couple of years now. Was recently suspended, specifically what people are saying, for this clip. Okay.
That fraud is
Allegedly.
not coming from individuals. It's coming from providers. They're not tackling providers. They're not actually going after like false billing. They are trying to cut recipients. Okay. It is not happening at the point of recipients. If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. Okay. You wouldn't make Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, Rick Scott. You wouldn't make him the current. What is his current office? What is he? He's the Richard Lynn Scott, is an American attorney, businessman, politician, Navy veteran, serving as the senior United States Senator from Florida, a seat he has held since 2019. And also, I believe this past election cycle, he was literally the f***ing head of the, what was it, like the Senate committee or something? Like the Republican fundraising initiatives. The reason why I'm saying if you cared about Medicare or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott is because, and not make him a prominent part of the Republican Party, is because he, to this day, is still also known as committing the largest Medicare fraud in U.S. history.
Am I tripping, or maybe I'm just missing the context? When he said K. Rick Scott, like, is he saying that literally, or does he mean to remove him from the party? Like cut off someone type of thing? Like, am I tripping on that? Maybe I'm missing it. I don't know. You're missing the context. Okay. If I'm missing the context, I'm trying to find out the context right now. But essentially what everyone is saying is that he got suspended for this clip. Okay. Streamer bans. You see it on Twitter. Oh, Hasan's banned. Whoa. And then what people, really got mad for is the fact that Hasan got unbanned after a day. That's what really is getting everyone mad, right? Is once again, Twitch's enforcement of their TOS is just showing a level of favoritism that is just insane. That is just insane. So this is XQC reacting to it, and let's see what his reaction is.
I mean, that was pretty easy to see coming. Guys. I was gonna say, dude, you wanted him to get banned. I didn't say anything about the game banned. I literally never said a single thing about that. Even when I saw the clip, I never advocated for that. I never said anything about that. I just said that's just weird. It's just not like an okay thing to do or say. Like, imagine if every time you had a conflict with somebody you don't agree with, somebody that has policies or some lawmaker you don't agree with, whatever, you said, I wish this person would get eliminated. Like, dude, imagine it's how we proceeded as people. Then at that point, what stops somebody in chat from thinking that I'm the devil because I do gamble or some shit like that and said, oh, this should be eliminated. Then this guy, I don't agree with it because this guy says he doesn't like this type of food. I think it should be eliminated. Well, I think that's weird. That's weird as fuck.
I don't respect the XCC. I don't know how people listen to him, man. I feel like XQC should just speak his native language. Am I tripping on that? Maybe I'm not. I don't know. Like, it genuinely feels like he's having a hard time speaking.
I think it's just not a good pattern of behavior.
Does he speak French or something? I don't know.
You understand? Also, now that he actually is banned, I will say though, I don't think it's a good precedent for Twitch to fucking go easy on him or whatever. Especially since he said on stream that, oh yeah, I might get banned for this, I don't give a fuck, whatever. That is like, that is knowing that he's causing harm and it's not, and doubling down, tripling down. That's fucking cooked up. Like, that's not, there's no plausible deniability here or whatever. That's insane. Also, if people start doing threats on stream, I mean, let's be honest, they already did people. The people that are doing threats. Like, if people get a slap on the wrist, then why would people do it then? They're just gonna start doing this shit. If it's like comment, they need to lay down the law on that shit. That shit's not okay, dude.
Okay, so that's XQC's reaction on the matter, and then this kind of ties into a couple of things that Twitch has done lately. I believe, from my understanding, Twitch has kind of revisited their unbanning rules so that, you know, permabans aren't a thing, right? Permabans aren't a thing. You know, Twitch believes as a platform, after 2 years, the two years is like the longest you can get banned. Something along those lines. So another part of this is how Aiden, after 2 years, is still banned on Twitch. And the reasoning for his original ban was just having an unmoderated chat. So that's, you know, him being banned on Twitch for 2 years for having an unmoderated chat. And Hasan is out here being banned for a day and then unbanned for a day after telling, you know, his audience that a politician should end themselves or should be eliminated, is where a lot of the pushback is coming from. Okay? So this is Aiden Ross speaking on his unbanning. This is actually from today.
I don't count favors. I don't count anything from anybody. So if they probably feel some type of way from rapping me publicly, they might think they might get backlash for it or what it is. But it is what it is, bro. I'm a human being. If you speak to a lot of these streamers, chat, on a personal level, they've all had a personal conversation with me. You know what I mean? So I've had personal conversations with them. I've been fucked up, bro, these past couple weeks, probably real. I've been pretty fucked up, sad, going through thoughts and moments. But it's like, why? Like, I already have so much, but it's like sometimes you just focus on what you don't have. And, you know, I have an amazing community who, guys, again, you guys will keep fucking shining and riding for me, which I appreciate, bro. And it's like, I just kind of like want everything open, because at the end of the day, bro, like, fuck all this shit. Like, look at you guys saying boo hoo. Like, okay, cool. But at the end of the day, bro, I want what's best for people that, like, everybody, like literally everybody. So, I don't.
So essentially, this is the latest thing that has put Twitch's moderation in the limelight, right? Essentially, this is ultimately what it is. There's always going to be a couple of situations throughout the year where this gets called out. And I'm not going to lie, it's the same talking points every time, because the problem will always be the difference between what moderation should be and how it's realistically handed out, okay? And again, I definitely have a more interesting perspective on this now, working for a streaming platform with, you know, a platform with a bunch of creators streaming on it. Moderation is something that ideally, and this is what creators are asking for, this is what people are asking for. People just want consistency, okay? People do technically sign a TOS that they need to abide to. And if I do something wrong, I should be banned for it. But the problem creators have is creator A does something, creator B does something. The creator B does the same thing, actually. But creator A gets penalized for it, creator B doesn't. So what that shows me, what that shows creators, and what that shows your platform is a level of favoritism towards one side of the aisle. At that point, not really moderating the platform, you're not really, you are enforcing TOS, but it's in a very, you know, leaning, very favoritism side. Like, you're leaning towards one side is essentially what I'm trying to say here in just a corporate way. You are definitely favoring one side over the other. That's the problem. However, the other side of this coin is how do you actually come up with a moderation system that can enforce things on a consistent level? That is the actual problem that these companies are facing, right? Because it's just, when you're chat, I need y'all to understand, when you're managing a platform with millions of creators, just creators, millions of creators, In the case of YouTube, we're talking about billions of users. In the case of Twitch, we're talking about tens of millions, hundreds of millions of users. How do you actually come up with a system that enforces TOS on a consistent basis? Right? Because realistically, you cannot manually do all of these bans and unbannings. You cannot manually hire enough people to cover billions of users. That's just not the case. So what happens in a lot of these instances is that these companies implement automated ways to moderate their platform, using bots, using AI now. And that creates another level of issue of how do you create a bot that actually is consistent in how it enforces the rules? And what we found is a majority of the time, that's just not the case. It's just hard to come up with a consistent bot. And if anything, it becomes a fault of the company for creating an inconsistent bot. You know what I'm saying? And then even if we take it to a manual level, because typically what happens is the bot automatically flags your content, and then you have a chance to appeal. Then that takes it to a manual level. And even on that front, even if we escalate it, in actuality, that does make it easier to enforce things on a consistent level. But it's also, I think it's harder when we're talking about gray area situations to actually enforce consistently. And listen, I feel like now I'm sounding like I'm caping for Hasan, but this is just the reality. This is just the truth when it comes to the moderation question. Is at the end of the day, it is a easier said than done conversation. And it's a thing where two things can be true. It's a case where, bro, content creators and users have the right to feel the way that they do. But it's also a case of what would you do in my shoes? Like, what would you do in the company? Like, that ass code, I'm not even getting into the actual code. Like, I'm not even taking it that deep, chat. The actual technical implementation of how to moderate all these different things. I'm not even getting there. Like, what would you do in my instance? And I just think that's where I'm going to throw a lot of these companies bail when it comes to the censorship. Just because, from my perspective, I see the other side of it much more now than other people do. And that's just my thoughts on it. However, with all that being said, I do still think Twitch has improvements to do from moderation. I don't think they are the gold standard when it comes to it. And when there is a gold standard, that means you still need to do better. Like, I'm trying to throw them bail, but at the end of the day, there clearly is a problem with your system right now. You still got to work towards being better. You know what I'm saying? And Twitch needs to do that. As far as Aiden being banned, still, let me ask y'all this, chat. Do y'all think Aiden should be banned still? Let's start off with that. Do y'all think Aiden Ross and Big 2025 should still be banned on Twitch? I think the reason why Aiden Ross is banned on Twitch has nothing to do with TOS or the enforcement of Twitch's moderation. I'm going to keep it a whole stack. I think this is a business reason. Full stop. Full stop. I don't even think it's his community's too toxic type of thing. I think the reason why Aiden is not on Twitch is for pure business reasons. Just that ass, just think about it, chat. This motherfucker tried to make a clone of my app and tried to eradicate my app's existence. For the last 2 years, Aiden has just been shitting on Twitch, saying Twitch is this, Twitch is that, to the point where he left the platform, created his own app to eradicate the existence of Twitch. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm Twitch, you are the op. I don't. Am I tripping on that? At that point, you are business-wise. You have made a platform, promoted a platform that is that's a direct competitor to mine. And he didn't create the app. Okay, he didn't create the app. But let's keep it a stack. Kick gained its notoriety. Kick gained its footing once Aiden came to that platform. Aiden is an investor in that platform. He has ownership in that platform, right? Let's not act obtuse here and act like Aiden is just another creator on Kick. No, Aiden has special ties to Kick. And if that's the case, you're never getting unbanned. I don't know. For what? For what? We don't want him back. Aiden community spams N-word and they praise Hitler. Nah, Aiden is a brain risk. That too. I do think as much as Aiden wants to revert his following, kind of similar to Sneeko, it's at a point where there's no going back. You know, there's just, this is not a, it would take so much work, chat, for Aiden Ross to become a brand-friendly streamer, both from like a content perspective and a community perspective, that it is just so unrealistic. He will lose a lot of what makes Aiden if he goes that route. The closest success story that I've seen from someone that was edgy, that is like turning the corner, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if y'all been keeping up with it. Neon has been doing some things. There was a point in time, chat, where Neon was the face of edgy streaming, the face of Kick streaming, the face of IRL streaming, the face of degenerate streaming. And I think in 2025, he has made some moves that I don't think he will ever become a brand-friendly streamer, but I definitely think he's in the good graces of more people now than ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think from a content perspective, he's showing a level of maturity that he didn't have before. He's found a way to weirdly collab with a lot of NBA players. Like, he's collabed with, obviously, the LiAngelo Ball stream, right? I understand he's not an NBA player, but still a basketball player. And then he had a stream with Matt Barnes. And then he had a stream with Malik Beasley. And I think I'm missing a couple other names. But, like, Neon has been doing a lot of streams with NBA players. And then recently he was on I think a basketball tournament. And, you know, knowing who Neon is, he had, you know, there's a lot of people who had problems with him. He just manned up and took accountability, apologized to everyone who he had previous beef with. And a lot of those interactions went well. You know, I think even just him being invited to the event kind of said a lot about the turn he was making, to the point where he's gaining the good graces of people again. So I do think it's possible for Aiden to regain some of those good graces again. But I think he's kind of on the Sneeko realm, kind of on the Fusi realm as well, where he just kind of goes on these phases of like, okay, I'm about to change for the better. I'm about to, you know, not be brand friendly. And then something just sparks something in them to be like, man, fuck this shit, man. Fuck freedom. I'm for freedom of speech. I'm a freedom of speech guy, man. Fuck y'all. Y'all soft ass motherfucking snowflakes. Like, something just turns in them to trigger those moments. And then we're back to square one. You know what I'm saying? It's just a never ending cycle with these guys. And I think it's a case of, it's just who they are. It's just their true colors. These guys are edgelords. These guys, at their core, are brand risks. You know? So, I don't know. Very interesting stuff going on in the streaming world. But yeah, I do think Twitch is hypocritical. I am a critic of Twitch's moderation. It's just, I think they are being petty with the Aiden Ross shit. And I also think they got good reason to.